Second. Okay. So we've got some, what have we got this week? And I think we've only got, in the way of high impact scheduled news, let's just use Tradingview. What we have is we'll have to use this one. So Forex Trading. Okay, so we had the bank elections in the in Japan. Sorry, bank elections. We had bank holiday today, but we had the Japanese elections today. So I was saying to LA just before that it looks like there was not enough to form like a majority, and likely this could lead to a bit of confusion in how they're going to. I don't think they're very supportive of the interest rate hikes, the fiscal policy that they're going on. So we'll see if they can put pressure. I mean, this is the government. This is not the Bank of Japan. But
morning,
Sarah. I'll do more research into this. But my initial thoughts were that ultimately this would be weaker for the yen. So it's a bank holiday today, and what we've seen actually is yen be the strongest so far for today, for this week so far. Who knows? I don't trust necessarily this. Yen's definitely the strongest, but because there was quite a big gap down, so see like how yen, it doesn't look like that's an issue when there's a gap. So just forget this currency strengthening right now, because what's going on is the market gap down here. So it reads that pound is actually stronger than the yen. Okay, because at the moment pound is gained, but it's because of the gap. So don't be fooled to think that the yen is definitely the strongest so far. So we'll have to see if this can unwind. And at the moment, it's just maybe a setting price up. But I think yen, we'll see how today finishes. But I think yen could be in for a bit more weakness going forward. Other news events that we've got, like high impact ones, we've got Fed blackout starting now officially. So because Fed goes, you have that blackout window, which is 10 days before the US Federal Reserve announcement. So we won't have any like surprise speakers, but we've got definitely 2 dissenters in the Federal Reserve. So that is what that means is you got 2 pretty high profile guys. So one of them is Christopher Waller, and I can't remember the other one. I remember there was 2. It might have been the Atlanta Fed or someone like Bostic or someone that thinks there's no reason to delay any interest rate cuts. So, but because we're in Fed blackout window now, so this is when you have the FOMC meetings on these in the red 31st of this month. They have the meeting on Tuesday, and then there's a 2-day meeting, and then they announce on the 31st. You can see like from Saturday, 10 days before they start their meeting, they have where this is blacked out. It means no Fed officials can speak to the media about what they're deciding to do. So we won't have any Fed speakers to come and give their opinion. And we do know that these Fed speakers are rolled out to kind of direct policy, basically. Like if the market's getting too strong or too weak, often they'll send out a speaker just to like calm the market or spice things up a little bit. Got Fed Powell speaking though. What's he doing here? Just opening remarks at some Capital Framework for Large Banks conference. So anyway, orange folder just in case he says something, but it's very unlikely this will even move the needle whatsoever. But we'll see. we do know as well that these markets, they'll latch onto anything. If today's a pump day, maybe there's something there that they'll latch onto to use as an excuse to dump the market, but I hardly doubt it. But it looks like it's fairly clear. Monday, Tuesday, we did have on Friday last week in the morning, we did have some Japanese CPI, and that came in lower than expected and lower than the previous month. That was the first low month that they've had in over 6 months. So this is the first sign that Japanese CPI is not hitting their targets enough for them to start interest rate hiking. And they did say they were looking at going through this like quantitative tightening from April next year. So it's pretty far in the future. But if they're not hitting their inflation targets, especially with the threat of tariffs and everything going on, I feel like this could be a good catalyst for some yen weakness. But one thing you've got to watch for is that yen's been weak for quite some time, and pound hasn't been setting the world on fire. But then you still look at this move, and this has like been a fairly steady, unsustainable kind of grind higher. So I wouldn't be surprised to see just price sort of pull back some better price levels before it can continue on its march higher. But we'll get more of this data when you've got the first one. You've got national core CPI comes in a little bit lower than expected, and then this week we've got the other two, which is going to be there's 3 inflation reads. The next one's going to be the Bank of Japan core CPI on Wednesday. So we'll see if that comes out as expected. It's pretty steady, this one. They don't usually get wrong. And then the last one is Tokyo CPI, which is on Friday. Here it is, Tokyo core CPI. And this one we'll see. The last month, they got a negative number, the first one in 4 months. This one has more weight because Tokyo's their main business hub. So we'll see if this one continues the trend lower. Okay, so we've gone from 3.6 to 3.1 to 3. So we'll see. We'll see if inflation is actually deteriorating in Japan. And then that could lead to the just not wanting to raise rates, which would further weaken the yen. Other than that, the rest of the headlines, apart from Trump headlines, we've got Thursday. Thursday is the biggest item on the docket. It's going to be it's kind of hidden here, this main financing rate. So it's the euro interest rates. This is the biggest item today, this week. We have PMI day on Thursday as well. So we know that's not going to be a fun day. We hate PMI. We've got euro interest rates, and then Friday we've got some UK retail sales. From the earnings side of things, we've got, because we're in earnings season now, the big one is tomorrow. We've got SAP for us for a German session. So that one, when it's got the little moon here, that means it's going to be after hours. So basically, like it's be more of an effect Wednesday. But we'll have SAP Wednesday. We'll have Google and we'll have Tesla. So they're big names. After hours again. Thursday, Friday. No, that's it. So normally we get when you've got Google and Tesla in this week, quite often we get the other guys falling in there as well. But it's just Tesla and Google for Wednesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday can be very important days for earnings season. And then the week after, this is where we've got, we get Apple, Microsoft Meta, and then followed by Apple. So next week, Wednesday and Thursday, are going to be 2 very big days for the stock market. Going back to very quickly, before we jump into like the scalping session, is the one thing I'm interested in looking at is this euro stuff. So this one here. So how I think this one may play out. Euro, they're expecting to hold interest rates. So this will be the first, they cut last time. So this will be the first time they're holding in about 8 meetings. So you can see that they went from April last year, they went from 4.5 to 4.25. There's something fishy here. Something's a bit strange with the way that they have these numbers here, because when they drop usually in quarter points, but they recalibrated how they look at this. So I know the interest rates weren't 4.5, but they've got like a refinancing rate, and then they've got some other rate that they look at, and just the name escapes me at the moment. But you see, like here, had a bit of a jump where it went from 4.25 down to 3.65. So it looks like a minus 0.6% cut. This was only a minus 0.25% cut. It's just I can't. I'll explore it further. But this is kind of bugging me why I can't remember. But there's two interest rates. There's one that the banks have for each other, and then they have one that the banks have for the people. And I think they had to just recalibrate because one of them they were using before, and then I think they just fixed it up. So I don't think that there was a big rate cut. It was only 0.25%. But I remember it confused me at the time, thinking that was a big jump. But it went from 4.5 to 4.25, and then really it was lower. But the next meetings afterward, they held for 1 month from June to July, and then it's been cut. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 cuts in a row, 9 cuts in total that they've made. This will be the first time that they're holding interest rates, and they signaled when they did cut that they feel like they're at a fairly steady rate right now. And this is kind of when they were signaling that they're getting close to terminal rate. It's really been adding fuel to euro, thinking that they're not going to cut any further. There is a chance that they do cut lower, but the way I think it's going to play out would be they're going to hold interest rates. There's no doubt. I don't think there's any doubt that they'll hold interest rates here. But what might happen is half an hour later, when you have the press conference, I think there's a low chance of this happening, but it's very possible that Christine Lagarde, what will happen is there might be some reference to the US tariffs. So at the moment, the US is, we do know the US are ramping up pressure to have a trade deal before August 1st. Otherwise, they'll put on the numbers have been different, but 15 to 20% tariff is the latest I heard. But last week it was 30%. Then I saw in the headlines, Trump was pushing for 15 to 20%. Where was this on Friday afternoon? Yeah, Friday. Trump pushes for 15 to 20% minimum tariff on all EU goods. So whether it's 30%, whether it's 15 to 20%, we don't really know. We'll see what comes in. It might be 15 to 20% on top of the 10%. We'll have to see. I think it's purposely unambiguous. But one thing that could happen is we could see euro strengthen before this press conference, or before this day, rather. So if we see like euro do a fairly strong run on Wednesday or even Tuesday, where it sort of just all of a sudden it just really takes off and we see a lot of euro strength, this would be very suspicious. Okay. Because what could happen afterwards is if we see euro strength, then we see a period where price sort of slows down, chops sideways, or kind of struggles to keep on making higher highs and is struggling. To me, there's a very good chance the news we can correct that whole move. Okay, and we'll have to see whether we're going to be long-term bullish or bearish on euro. When I say long-term, I'll refine that to more medium term, because euro is quite extended at the moment in its run, and we have been seeing it pull back a little bit. There's a possibility that with these tariffs, euro might consider going even lower on their interest rates. And one theory that's come out is that if euro gets hit with a tariff, they may opt to lower the interest rates down by an extra up to 1%, a whole percentage point. So like down to 1.15, for example, to offset the tariffs. Because if Trump puts on like a 15-20% tariff on Europe, but then the EU, the ECB, lower the interest rates and the euro depreciates some percents against the US dollar, what that does is it effectively will sort of offset the tariff cost. So, but it's so many moving parts, because who's paying for the tariffs? Is the importer? Is it Europe gonna like lose business? We don't really know exactly how it's all going to play out, but things will get a bit spicy in this week, because things are going to get very uncomfortably close to next Tuesday. I think it is going to be next Friday. Sorry, next Friday is the deadline, August 1st. So whether they get another extension, we don't really know. But things are going to get really spicy when we get to August 1st, when that new deadline starts to get close to it. But just watch for any unsustainable moves leading up to the interest rates, because that could be a real tell for a potential day trade. Fade this move, or if the news comes out and it actually is, if they're quite dovish or cautiously dovish, I would imagine that any euro strength pre-news will be faded out over time. We might not be able to get the initial jump, because it'll probably dump a lot or spike up a lot on the interest rate announcement, the press conference. Don't need to like take that risk and shoulder that risk, trying to like anticipate up or down. But if say for example it dumps halfway, you can be pretty sure that it's going to go all the way, but just look for entries. Like, you might miss the initial start of the move, but there should be more moves to be able to capture. But if we're looking for a catalyst this week, apart from unscheduled Trump news and maybe a failure from Google to hit earnings, I think they'll beat earnings. Apart from Trump, the earnings and euro interest rates, I don't really know what else the catalyst would be. So I'm sure that there will be some pretty wild moves around the timing of these, and it makes sense having some of these wild moves on Thursday and a Wednesday with the let's go here with the Alphabet and Tesla earnings, and then tomorrow at market close at SAP. Obviously, that will obviously impact German going into Wednesday morning. Okay, so let's watch for manipulation. Let's watch for these kind of unsustainable moves, and let's watch for around these catalysts. Aussie looking. There's not a whole. Yeah. There is a bit to keep our eyes out for, but it's sort of fairly targeted. Obviously, Trump's going to be unpredictable. We've got no news really on Aussie apart from Michelle Bullock speaking. We had Kiwi news already done. The inflation came in at 0.5%. It's pretty light on the whole news front, really. Like even the US, apart from PMI and unemployment claims, that they don't even have any of their other usual scheduled news. Like the third week of the month is usually the quietest in the whole news headlines. Doesn't mean there's lack of volatility, just means we don't exactly have a real clear catalyst. Anywho, it shouldn't really affect us too much. Just keep your eyes peeled. So today, now for the scalping session, I did see that equities had pulled back a little bit in the Asia market. for the indexes. Gold is up, so gold's had quite a bit of a pump today. We'll have to see how VIX comes out. German 40, yeah, since German Open has pumped up. And we had the big dump. We had the kind of reset on this day. So I was gonna start out bullish this week just because I like the zone that we're at. I can reset a lot of this stuff. So I want to keep this one though, so I'm not gonna clear everything. I'm gonna clear most of this. What are you guys thinking? You guys bullish, bearish, otherwise? You're in long? Yeah, I'm thinking longs. So I like this area that price came down to. I think it's a good chance for price to sort of set up some good price points. So it's already moving, unfortunately. That's the annoying thing. So we're getting into some decent low levels here. You're bearish today, but it's very much turned. Yeah. So I want to start the week off well. We've got where we had this move down. We've got this little area which will obviously cause some issues with price. And this move is already pushed up. It's pretty strong for Frankfurt Open. So kind of makes it a little bit difficult having to wait for London now to start to see where they want to, if they just want to pump unsustainably, not unsustainably, but like, do they just want to pump? Or will they want to like pull back into like Asia 50%? Yeah, this is the kind of day from where it started from. I think there's a good chance that we could just move higher, but I don't want to take the risk of being in the market beforehand. I really just want to wait, see how the London traders react to this. Stocks 50 is pushing. Kind of in a nice little zone here on Stocks 50. So where would London want to run this? So I think it should at least run these highs. I would think, don't you? Should at least run higher than here. Okay. We've got 7 minutes to wait here. because Japan had a bank holiday as well. I don't know how much true volume would be in this Asia session. Bearish on D1. So I think Friday was just wiping out this move. But one thing I've been seeing quite a bit for the last 5 or 6 Fridays now was Trump usually comes out and does something or says something, kind of leave some bomb before the weekend, which like sometimes literally dropped a bomb on the weekend. But I think this move higher, this was very suspicious. Hence why on Friday, when price was really failing to break higher, it made sense to go to look for sells. Now, underneath here would be very interesting because of this move. But I think the way that price shot down and wiped out this London move and reset, I think there's a good chance that this is a good support. But if it keeps on peppering it and looking like it wants to break, if it does break this support, I mean, there's a little area here, which remember on, I think it was this day. No, was it not? It was not Thursday. What day was it? Oh no, it was down here. This is the area that I was looking at. So this little zone beforehand has been left untouched. So this is still, whenever a price comes down here, this should have a good reaction. But the way I see it as well, that when on Wednesday, when you had this move higher, there's ground higher, and then price pushed down and then spiked down. This is that really shitty day when it just launched, and it was very like that. Just move just does not make sense to me. And then it came back corrected on Powell getting fired, rumor getting leaked. We've got this zone here which really catches my eye. This zone here, I'm really interested in this zone, which is underneath this support. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if price is pushing down. If it is, I'm not planning on it coming all the way down here, but if it did, I think this is a fairly fresh area of demand. It's been tested once, but I think this is a good area where price can sort of spike down and induce sellers from like this green line. And whether it's just like a reaction or it's actually more of a sustained move, we'll have to see. But I think this green line is enough for at least a trade. Whether it's just 70 pips, maybe it's just 70 pips, but we'll see. So I'm keeping my eyes here. I'm going to have my alerts around this level.
Yes, you do. No, don't. No, it's more important than this. No, listen to it.
If I invert the chart and just sort of see where price is. Just trying to see if it makes sense for one way or another. Yeah, I think this level looks good, man. Quite like this level. This yellow level. So I kind of hope London does come down in a rush. Because if London can come down in a rush, I think they're just trying to get a better price. And the way that euro moved higher feels to me London could just push up, but I think there's a high chance at the London Open that price comes down a little bit lower to set up a better price. I do think there will be a pump day, which will be just like an unsustainable move, which just sort of breaks levels and induces buyers. So I don't want to fight one of those days. Needed to sort of flow with it, knowing that it doesn't kind of make sense, but just feel really uncomfortable buying the high, thinking it goes higher. So if it can break these levels and can run these highs, I think we can actually recover a lot of this move as well. But it'd be much easier for me to not buy overbought conditions, and hopefully London can sort of just run these highs, but come back down to retest like Asia high. We've got a little triple wicker area here. Got some fair value gaps that London can retrace to. Only got a minute left now to wait. And let's see if London can actually just shoot down. If it's shot down to here, I'll be very pleased to try give buys a go around at this point. Let's see. It's looking like London will probably have a bit of a push at the open, but Mondays, conservative days. So I'll just start getting set up to take a trade there anyway. Okay, here we go. Let's see. See if London goes up immediately or down. Yeah, up to these areas. Okay, let's see what happens now. Running these highs. See what I mean? Just like straight up, run the high, get pushed down. Now, be patient and wait for a good entry. The most difficult entry would be if it just blasts higher, because it makes it really difficult. Because you feel like you chase price, you don't really know where you put your stop loss. But I'm quite aware there could be a pump day. Don't want to fight it, but also, I'm kind of happy to let some of those trades go by, because it feels a bit of a rush to try chase it.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Danny. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, man. Okay, so all I'm looking for here is just whether the signs, because we saw the same thing on Friday, where price rushed up immediately and then took the highs in the very first minute, and then it kind of started retracing back down. But it looks like it's actually holding there, so this could be a day like, I don't think it was Wednesday, because it's coming from the lows, but one of the other days where London just took the high, but it was able to actually be pretty strong, and it pushed up consistently. And the whole time I was waiting for, what have I done? I've moved the sessions. It was a day that London just was able to pump. I think it was this day, Wednesday, yeah, 2 Wednesdays ago, where London rushed up, took the high, but it actually closed quite strong. And then the whole time we're waiting for it to pull back, and it didn't. And then eventually took sells that were not very good, because I thought price would come back to get a better price point. So I'm going to learn from my mistake, and that if it is going to close quite strong, I know because it's already moving, my risk reward is not going to be so good because it's already overbought. But we know it can be overbought as well. So I just need to appreciate that maybe it's just going to be quite a strong day. And rather than trying to look for the counter trend sell, to just look for a clean entry to go with the volume. But I just want to see if there's going to be a rejection first. So I'm happy just to wait the first part of this London Open. Friday highs, weekly imbalance, liquidity now. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I'll be right back. So just give me 5 minutes, and I'll let the first few minutes just go by. I'm not going to rush into the thing today, Monday morning. Start the week off with a good start. So be patient. I'll be back in 5. All right. Okay, so first 5 minutes in the bag. So pretty clean break higher. So see if I can at least push up, run this high now, which is like another 50 pips away. So price pushed up, little retrace. See if it can run up to here. Keep on going to like sort of just keep tracking along with the VWAP, the third standard deviation of it. So this area does look interesting. Kind of, this whole zone looks actually quite interesting for it to run higher, which would be about 50 pips away. Problem is just it's so overbought, so it kind of limits me from getting in if I follow my rules. But I want to see it. I do want to see if it can continue running up, because if it can continue running up here, I think then it will be quite nice to just maybe forego any like counter trend opportunities unless it's super obvious. But if it can stay overbought for quite some time, I think the opportunity really is when it finally does give you that little breather pullback to get oversold. I think it'll be a very good chance that it will just at least double top or something. So waiting to see if it can pull back. Maybe it pulls back like a channel, but then trying to at least retest the high. So I think the way that it's looking, the 5-minute candle pretty strong. Above here, I can't enter myself because it's overbought. But potentially, if it's sort of holding here and then breaking the highs, it could be a like I could take a little breakout for 40 pips. You just entered long in that 5-minute pullback candle. Okay, good luck. Good luck. Yeah, well, I'm just waiting. Hopefully it can pull back for me. It looks like it's a reasonable push. Bit of divergence around. But if it can hold above this level, or maybe come back to around this level, and by that time the overbought has been worked off, then I think there could be a very much long for me as well. But gold being high, yen being strong for the day, there are some warning signs of safe haven plays. How did the stockies open? Sorry, not stock. Yeah, how did the German stocks open up? You guys got any data on that? Looks. I won't get all
Yeah,
the.
SOPs are up. Rheinmetall's down. I don't really have any others. Sorry, Michael's got more.
Okay.
But he's not here. Yeah.
So
mixed.
A bit mixed. Okay, yeah. We'll get. I mean, these ones for me. I won't find out for another 3 minutes. Okay, but it's we'll see, man. Let's see. Moment's kind of like a bit of a spike up, but there's always a good chance when you go overbought for so long and up to these like VWAPs above this area, there's always a chance of the pullback. So I don't like taking the breakout trade. It's fine. Like, wait up with my stop loss. But if it can sort of hold up here and sort of burn off this overbought condition, at the moment the structure's still bullish. I think it would make sense to at least run the next high, which would be getting closer to that London 50%, but also in this area. But I guess this whole zone this whole zone here, you can almost treat that as structure. So now that it's sort of tested the first time, if it is pushing into this zone, I think I'd get comfortable to take a buy, and then just target the top, which would be a look for a 50 pip move. Mum's walking over now to look after Maddie. Mum is walking over now to look after Maddie. Okay, so it looks like we're absorbing some of this selling pressure now. See if we can break up higher. If it does want to make it a bit more sustained pullback, we'll see. But retested the London Open. Okay, come on. See if this rejects again. If it's just like absorbing buyers. If it's absorbing buyers and coming back, it will probably look for a better entry. But if it's absorbing buyers and it's still just looking like the pressure is quite strong, then I think it's going to try suck in more buyers from a higher level. But it's looking good at the moment. Oh, 1 second, guys. My mother's arrived. First 15-minute candle in the bag. See if we can just do a wick fill. If we can do a wick fill, then I really do think it's going to clear this whole space. So can we get oversold on anything?
So, Hayden, would you read that price action, like include New York, Asia, and Euro session, and see that whole thing as a double bottom?
This bit here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like the 4-hour zone. I think it's a really attractive level across here.
Because, sometimes like my eyes, I suppose, zoom out and see like these bigger pictures. But then, then looking at each session, it just changes the pattern, like in my head. So I'm just not sure which one.
I don't read into double bottoms too much like that.
Okay.
Like I don't see that and think, oh, a double bottom, that means it's a reversal.
Right.
But this price action here actually looks very much like the price action, like in a much smaller scale of time.
Yes, I see that now. Yeah.
Like this bit here stood out to me. But I thought I guess I was skeptical that this would actually just bounce. I thought it would actually go a little bit deeper, and it held me out of the buys on this day, which just ran. And then what we've got is something similar, not quite the same, but similar enough that we've got this area where price really did run higher on that day, and this is where price just stalled on Friday. So I feel like this was a bit of a reset, and because we do have quite a bit of news this week, I'm really undecided whether we're going to be bullish this week in general or bearish. I mean, I know the scalping sessions we're always going to have volatility up and down and trades we can buy and sell. But if I had to just think, is this an attractive level for a support? I'd have to say yes. And then like how high do I think it's going to run? If they did buy here, then what they need to do is, for them to be able to profit, it needs to push into a level where buyers would be happy to buy from. So the first bit is this area, of course, because we can see that was a pretty aggressive move down. So I think if we can just get above that area, then I think the next area is unlocked. But at the moment, this is structure. On this time frame, you can sort of see how price already pushed down once and then bounced, and then pushed down again, and then it dropped. So for price to really fill this space and then get to and run these highs, I feel like we really need to close in this area. But whether it does it in one go, because this is the first time touch of this level, and because this was a fairly clean move up. So I know that there's buys here, so maybe London want to try and run some of them to try and get some of those better entries before pushing up. Like this is the thing, I really don't like buying when the stochastic's like this. This is the only thing that's keeping me out right now. But it's kind of good that price is here now for nearly 20 minutes and we're still above the London Open. So they're consolidating for something. So whether that's going to be, is it going to be a run higher, or they're going to try push price down? We'll see. I think maybe there should be at least one more. If it's going to go down, maybe one more run of that high. Kind of like what happened on Friday when it consolidated. It didn't really stay above the highs, but it tried to push up higher again. Before then, it just started breaking down eventually. But at the moment, apart from that first jump up in the first minute, where it basically just ran these highs, now it's fallen into this consolidation period. So we have to still really undecided which way price is going to go. The 15 minutes is looking like a reversal now. Minutes going to be looking pretty grim. At least the stock is now coming back down. Still above this euro little consolidation, which led the push higher. So if we're above here and the stock is still oversold, then I'll give it a crack to push higher. If we're still above here and this finally reaches this oversold. The ones are getting oversold now. The ones, two's not quite there. The ones, So I'm going to put a pending right here. But I'm not going to risk many pips. You'll see this is like a 5-to-1 trade. And because it's quite risky, I'm only trying to make 0.5% today. So with this, I can just risk 0.1%. So if it does, because it is risky, if it does drop down and it stops me out, then I lose obviously 0.1%, but that's, you know, I could have 5 goes and still be well above my risk tolerance. Well above. So, just to see. 5's still well overbought. Oh, sorry, the 15's still well overbought. But we are getting down, and if it can push, if it can have one more bounce, I'll be able to get the risk out of the trade pretty easily. But getting oversold, we're still above structure. Very risky, so low risk. Okay, so I'm in now. Just remember, low risk, guys. Low risk. Monday morning. But it's looking like it doesn't look like there's much strength in that candle. Okay, come on. Can break higher, just a little bit higher. I'll just move my stops to break even. I know I'm not risking much, but still, I don't like how price is sort of moving on this 30-minute candle.
So you're long, Hayden?
Yeah, mate. Just low risk because it's a good risk reward for this one. So if I can get 0.5% out of this trade and only risk 0.1, then I'll be very happy. And if it does drop down lower, because I know this is pretty risky, if it does drop down lower, then 0.1's, we'll make that back.
I like to log out and log back in. I lost the screen.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's not fun. I kind of want it to have a bit more of a reaction. Okay, there we go. Come on. Okay, nearly 10 pips up. I'm only risking 18 pips. So I'm not gonna take profits, but I'm just gonna move the stop to break even. So have a free look at this. There's a huge chance that price will wick me out, but at least it's a free look. If you went high, if you did go more than 0.1, I would, and with such a tight stop, you should be up around, oh, I mean, you'd be getting close to 1-to-1 now, 13, 14 pips in profit with 18 pip risk. Now you should be 1-to-1. So if you went full risk, take some profit. I went low risk, so I'm not going to take any profit. Unless price pushes up to here, I might consider it, because that would be a 2-to-1. But stocky got oversold at support in an uptrend. And it's kind of my job as a trader to take those setups. Cool, man. All right, nearly 18 pips up. New 30-minute candle now, incredibly risky. To roll such a tight area with a 30-minute candle can easily reject that high, easily. But there should be at least you shouldn't be able to lose in this trade. Because this 30-minute candle very easily could pull back. Oh, come on, keep going. We don't want that just to be the 1 5-minute candle. It'd be nice if it can keep on pushing higher, and that would be the low, but the 5's still not oversold. So at least there was a 15 pip move with basically an 18 pip stop. So it's not bad. Not bad. Not great, not bad. But yeah, if it's running these lows, this is why I'm really not really interested in. If it's rejecting these highs, I really need to see a lot more confirmation if it's running these lows. Yeah, man. Well, runner got taken out. Oh. It's alright. So the idea's kind of dead. Anyway, it was worth a shot. Did anyone just jump in, jump out of that trade and just take the 15 pips ahead of the 30-minute candle closing?
No, I'm still long.
Yeah, it was a really tight place to work with. The 15-minute close, bearish, now the 15 minutes, doing this wick fill. This area is giving more issues than we wanted. 5 minutes still coming down, still getting towards this oversold. Yeah, it was such a tight place to run from. You would have needed to be pretty quick fingers. So stocks 50, or the stocks 50, man, really rejected that zone. Yeah, no, there's no trades right now for me just yet. It was worth a shot. The second time touching this area. Come on, London. Just show a bit of strength or break under this level. One of those outcomes will be absolutely fine. Strength or break this. Just not this real slow drift.
We have the stroganoff, we have soup. Will you do like a little omelette?
Yeah, I think the next trade that I'm going to consider here is, now that we're sort of getting oversold, is look to see what price is going to do at this level again. If it pushes up and it rejects and it's coming down again, I'm going to take it down to go down to the Asia high. But if it sort of rejects only a little bit and is breaking higher, I'm going to take it again long to run the London high and then to this next level. So I've got two ideas. Like this price action really doesn't make me have a firm bias one way, but if it's rejecting like so, I'm going to take it down like this. But if it can break higher, I'm going to look to go up to this level. That makes sense? I'm just waiting to see, like it's consolidating, so the break it will do a move up or down. But because it has consolidated and it kind of rejected this level again, I'm treating this level as a resistance. So if it does reject and is looking like it's going to test this support for the fourth time, then I think it would break, and then it would make sense to go to Asia high. But if it just pushes up, if it can push up and then sort of have a little reaction but clear this level, then I think it's going for the London high again. So I'll take it up. I'll manage the trade when it gets to the high, but I'll see if it can break higher, and then I get to at least 360. I think 360 could be a decent little target. But it's all about what it does in this zone here. So the sells, it needs to reject here to then come down. If it doesn't reject here and come down, I don't really want to jump into breakout sells. Not in something that's on the higher time frame looking like this. Like, dangerous, man. But usually when something's overbought for so long, like so, usually the first time it gets back down to oversold, it's usually good for a bounce. Usually, not always, but usually.
She was. But then she had breakfast and she forgot about it, and now she wants a biscuit. Today she chose Rice Krispies, which is not very normal. She just touched the food.
Can you read another book? You can read another book.
Yeah, looks like it's breaking down. So this area is going to be interesting though, right here. So I could potentially, I missed the sell. It never came up and followed the plan that I wanted. Didn't whip the high. So perhaps there is going to be a buy from this area, from the Asia high, from this area. Be a nice little pullback. Put on Bloomberg blabbing about Zoo being the highest been in 3 years. Oh yeah, I saw that Zoo came out. That was good numbers. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's just a very slow day. Asia was bank holiday. Lack of real market drivers. Fed blackout. We've also got because it's earnings season, we've got buyback windows closed. So just a real sluggish start to the week. Good reason to just like really dial back the risk. So where did Frankfurt opened here? So yeah, I'll consider this area for a buy. I won't just have a pen in order though. I think what I'll wait for is to see if price can reject it. So see if price does something like if it pushes down, but then can close above, like take the liquidity, close back above. Then I think there should be at least a move back up to like here. So get a 1-to-1 at least. But we'll see. If it starts trending, then that's a bad sign. But the way that price is moving down, I think there's a good chance that we can at least recorrect this move. So if we take this liquidity that's down here, then I think we could do something like, at least something like this. And it still doesn't need to break the structure.
I'm glad I covered my trade -3 pips.
-3. Yeah, a break even for me as well.
And I call that a winning trade.
Yes, yeah. If it's not a loss, it's a win in our books, isn't it? As long as it's not a loss.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense. Like, I mean, you got to follow the system. So it came down to a piece of structure, and we're oversold. So and price had been trending bullish. So I mean, I just didn't want to get caught shorting something like normally I would have shorted something like this, but the way that this candle sort of broke above and we consolidated above that London Open, now that we're below the London Open, it changes things. But I did think there's enough for us to get a bit of a bounce and potentially a win, but because I recognised the risk it was, so I was a bit of a coward managing it. As soon as it got like 10 pips in profit, stops were set at break even, went low risk, so I couldn't really, I didn't want to scale out because what's the point? If you're risking 0.1%, there's no reason to scale on something like that unless I can get like a free shot at a trade. Maybe if it got to 0.25%, I would have taken something off the table. But it's just feels like a fairly slow morning at the moment. Price is just kind of grinding down. But I do like this level as well here. This level looks interesting. And
I should have made the call when it hit my stop loss at the top of the short that I was in. That was the time to go short. Of course.
Yeah, entry at stop loss.
That old chestnut.
Yeah. The 5's now getting oversold. It's kind of what we want if we're looking long. It's just so difficult to want to take a breakout buy when you're overbought like this. It's just usually it sucks when it just stays overbought and just grinds higher and higher and higher. I really hate those days, but it saves me from a lot more bad trades than like it removes. If I followed that a lot religiously, I will remove some winning trades, but it will filter out a lot more losing trades. What's market saying? Neutral. ETF outflows. Yeah, I mean, well, that makes sense actually, because my ETFs are down today. All of these guys, VAS, VGE, VGS. Oh, good morning. Hello. You got a biscuit. Go play with Bubble. $15 looking pretty bad. So is it same as the 30-minute? Looking very bad, isn't it? Shame about those sells. It would have been nearly a target now. Just I was waiting for it to come back up on the 5-minute. I was hoping this candle, this red one, would have just had a top wick. I would have really, like, if it had done a top wick like that, as it was getting low, that would have been the trigger to take a sell, to anticipate the break of this level, to fill this candle. That would have been it. I mean, if it's going to keep on going, it's low risk. It's just the risk reward's not there, but I could take a sell now. Just put your stop above the previous 5-minute candle to take out this zone. No. That's a board trade, but I think it would make sense. The price is trending. When I say trending, what I mean by it's just making lower highs each candle. So until it stops making lower highs, that'll be the time that it might do a little bit of a correction. But that would have been it, basically. Just the trade down to this level, get your risk out. Anyway, it's hit this level now. So the idea that I was going to look for is if it can sweep this level, I want it to take out the lows. Take out the lows, but then close back above. Then I'll look to take it long, back up to basically where price started from. Maybe to the imbalance candle, but it'll be after it sweeps the lows and then it pushes higher. So this is a good little zone. So that's the only one I'm considering at the moment. Oh, you gave it a go? Good one. Okay. You could be on the long, Sarah. Yeah. That pullback's annoying, man. The stocks is completely flat again for the day. Yeah, it's a sluggish morning, man. It's like it's moved to right 86 pips, but the way it's moved, it felt like a real grind. I mean, 86 for the hour, it's good, but I think a lot of the times it's like this, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. It's not just up a bit and then just slow like death march down. Like that's why it feels like a struggle here. But my buy, I've got some pending buy orders from here, these levels. That's where I think we can get, if it does just continue to break through these levels, I think there could be enough momentum. But I quite like this area, this little triple wick area of demand. I quite like this zone. Okay, come on. Just want it to go up to here, like this area, just to retest this zone. Come on, push. Okay. If we can just clear this zone, then we've correctly picked that this level, this triple wicker, such an important price action to have reactions from. Come on, drive up. 5 minute finally had got to oversold at the same time as it's hitting this level. What price did you get, Adelaide? $261 on Pepperstone. Cool. Push, come on. Just got to just to recorrect this drive down. So I'm sure there'll be a pullback again. I'm getting back overboard, but that was a very nice move higher from very nice reaction to this triple wick area. So if this can hold, need to see if this is where London if they commit into buys. At the moment, the structure's still bearish, so I don't think you're out of the woods. I don't think it's like, I mean, you'd like to think you could hold it, but I'd be taking some profits. Just to set your week up. Depending on how you manage it. That's how I do it. Try to set my week up. At least be patient, get some runs on the board, and then trade with profits. Oh, come on, keep going. Keep going. Just another 4 pips.
Looking good, Hayden.
Yeah, man. Beautiful zone
Nice.
on the 10-minute. That was that's
Yeah.
just classic, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I got in slightly above where you did.
Nice one.
Not quite as good an entry as yours.
There we go. All right. Took out that imbalanced candle. Man, can it just drive? This is a dangerous zone though, where it took the lows. But at breaking that and clearing it, it really opens the door up for the London high again. You took it in full at the neckline. That's fine. That's fine. Because there'll be re-entry opportunities if it's going to push up higher. So we never need to have primo entry to hold. I think good to
Can't
get
believe
in.
it.
Oh yeah, that was
Bastard.
a stop. Yeah, that sucks.
I'm gonna trial the 30-second low.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just in case it keeps pushing.
Yeah, come on, man. Push it back above this zone again. Come on, push, man.
Come on.
Just one more drive up.
Closed 8%.
Oh yeah. It's been a nice run up, so I'm sure there'll be a pullback
nice
when
move,
we've been
yeah.
overbought now.
I took a gold trade while you were taking your first one, so I couldn't follow you, but I kind of messed it up a little bit.
Oh yeah?
Well, I got slipped, and then I got the wrong percentage as well.
Oh shoot. Was there a big move on there, was there? To get slipped. Oh, look at this rejection, man. See when it gets overbought, so dangerous. But if it can hold above any of these little structures, that pullback, I mean, it's not nice if you're in it still, but when it pulls back and holds and then breaks above the red candles, it's so nice to for continuation, because it can ease off some of this overbought pressure, and it's a better risk reward entry. We need to see if London, this is the true point now, whether London indeed actually bought here. If they bought here, then they will let a price pull back and buy again. If they bought. But when
It's got to be worth a little punt, hasn't it? If it gets too oversold.
Yeah. If it's oversold and it's above these structures, it's worth it.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty decent reaction at these levels. But this is this was, we knew this area was going to be risky, because that's the area where price consolidated here before then successfully making a new low into their price, and then price pushed up for nearly 50 pips. Very nice move. Got overbought. Just the momentum has to stall at some stage. Ease this off. really nice if it can sort of just get back down to like say the 50, 60 on the stocky, and then just go for another run up, kind of stay like that. That'd be really nice. Well, see, come on, man. Just want to see it take out that high, because it's took out this high, and if it can break the highs again without being like a wick, then it shows like that it's not really trying to absorb buyers. It shows that the pressure is more to the upside.
Have you used that volume profile much, Hayden?
This one, volume footprint.
It's called fixed range volume profile. It kind of puts it like on the side of the session.
Oh yeah, on the side. I tried to do a little bit of stuff with it. And I found what I was more interested in was, where is it? Fix this one. It's got, Forex doesn't have these. Like it works on this one, on Pepperstone. Like this. You're talking about this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. You went diagonally. I've been just going across. I wonder if that affects it.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think
yeah.
it's the same. I'll be more interested in exploring these areas where there's like high volume, but then you have this little area of low volume. So I mean, more thinking that like if this is where more orders were, then price can actually take all of those orders and then get into this low volume area, and this low volume area could be actually sweeping all of this volume, and if it rejects that area, to me I think that could be a very good sign for continuation.
Okay, yeah. I was using it a bit differently, but that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't done enough work on it, to be honest, to see if it gives a good edge or not. It's kind of annoying that, because I prefer Forex.com chart for some reason for my eyes, just to pick out some levels, and it just doesn't have the volume footprint on Forex.com, so I've got to constantly go to German 40, I've got to constantly go to Pepperstone, but then my zones I'd have to recreate on that chart as well. I really should just pick one and just stick with it, but I find some of these little gaps are a bit annoying. All right, driving up high, beautiful. Come on, push. Just want to see it like thrust up and then get some clearance from this area, because it came back down and got like underneath the overbought territory. And now if it can just drive up higher like it is doing, then we've got all these like sort of this grind higher. To me this is also good liquidity. But it needs to break this level convincingly, and then we can make a run at the London high.
You still long, Hayden?
Yeah, I am. Much reduced though. Been on Monday, much reduced, but I'd consider looking at re-entering some risk, like a portion of the profits, not risking the whole thing again or a whole fresh trade, just to make sure like if I do take a loss, then I'm still up for the day. Come on, man, just drive higher, drive into this little fair value gap area, and we can reassess then potential entries for London high and above. Come on, man, just kind of struggling in this little zone. Just want to see it punch higher.
Is Lady gonna knock him over? No, it's not that one. It's
it this one? Yeah, that's it. No, is it this one? That's the girl. And this one? No, put that one in. Put that one. No, this one. This one. Put that one on. Yep. That's it. Yep, that's the girl. And which one's next? No, not that one. Purple. We'll put purple.
Oh, anyway, what time is it? 9:10. So price is basically where we opened, an hour and 10 minutes into it, and we're still within like 5 pips of where we opened. So London session's just been up, down. Looks like they've got a good price though. On the 10-minute chart, it looks nice and pretty. It was just a kind of just had to let this overbought condition just ease off, just burn off a bit. Price came back down to a beautiful level where price consolidated above the Asia high, pushed up that triple wick area. It was a much cleaner move higher than I was anticipating. I thought it would actually, like the way that it just, like this hour candle, the way that it rejected. Now it's kind of made this a bit more neutral. So, as in like it's we're still just sort of hanging around like where we opened. So it's a bit of a, you know, it's anyone's game still whether it goes up or down.
Is it green? Maybe green.
But if we can get another, if we can close above this orange, this green line, if we can get like a little, like if this can just, it's made a little pullback in the wick, but pushing above the green line, now that this, on the hour chart, 30-minute chart, you see this as structure, see this zone there, that because like this was a reasonable area where price couldn't close above, and then it pushed down, and then it retested this lovely area of support. Asia kind of did that double bottom, and then Frankfurt Open was just bullish all the way into it, and then London tried to push into the zone, just absorb some buyers, then grinded their way down to put some stress on buy the dippers, came back down to that lovely zone in the 10-minute chart where there was a definite accumulation before a run up in the German Open. Price retested that. Looks like there was a bit of defense at that zone. If we could actually close, like on the 15-minute chart, inside this area, then to me it just absolutely makes sense to fill this wick and then to fill this entire space. And then to me the area where price can react is this zone. But at the moment I'm looking for see if this can actually close above, wick fill that space, and then that would be from low to high of this London session. That'd be about 110 pips. I think that would be pretty reasonable for, it doesn't seem like we're really, like, doesn't look like there's a lot of volume today. Looks like price is really struggling to get going or needing something to do some sort of manipulation. But at the moment it looks like London bought low. If they can drive higher, I think it makes sense to carry on up to here, up to this like blue zone, or at least to that 24,360 area. That's the area I thought at the start of the day. I thought this would be a decent target if the bulls do arrive, 24,360. So we'll see. We'll see if London wants to give another discount. If price can break underneath here. But if it's rejected here again, or at least holding above here, I think it looks more and more likely that we're going to break out, and then we're going to at least push up and retest, like fill this wick at least. If it can break higher, perfect. So 3 minutes a little bit overbought.
No, that one goes
The way the 5 minutes looking is I kind of interested to
goes in here.
buy. I'm gonna buy, guys. I'm gonna buy a little bit. And I'm gonna see if we can keep trending higher. Stop loss is gonna be underneath this candle. I'm gonna target just the London high.
Circle. That's it, clever girl. You put your short walks over here. Yeah.
So I'm in.
So you put
I'm
the
in this.
triangles in here. There they are. You put the triangles in here. That's it. And do you want to put the circle in there? No, that's a triangle. Yeah, this one. Here we are. There we are. Put that triangle. No, the triangle. This one. This one. Here, in here. Again. That's it. Good girl. Yeah, that's it. Good girl. We need to put it on the floor. Here we are. There. It goes in that one too. The green one goes in there. Yeah, and the yellow one goes in there. There's the red one. There's the red one. There we are. There's the red one.
So I needed to hold above here. otherwise
That's the girl.
it's gonna be back to break even for the day.
You had your foot on it. You had your big foot on it. We put this in here. There we are. There we are. You're going to stay over here? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Damn, man. It's like the worst time to have picked that. Anyway, just taking out both my trades now. Took out this one, and the stop loss for this one. I actually brought it back up, so it was that's annoying.
I assume your second one there was super low risk, yeah?
Yeah, I was just risking half of what I'd made in the first one, so that if it came back
Yeah,
down, because I still had half of the first one running.
Right.
And then so effectively, I'll put that back on.
They nulled out.
Yeah, nulled out. So
Yeah. Yes.
the stop loss for the first one. So this was my break-even point for both of them together.
Yeah. You had some nice zones there this morning.
Yeah, I just wanted to see it just continue. I wonder why it just 9:15. What caused that? It's like the biggest candle of the day so far. That biggest 5-minute candle, just right when I took it. I don't know what caused that. Anyway, when it's low volume like this, went from a frustrating morning to a good morning, back to a frustrating morning.
That 3-bar intersection works so frequently.
Yeah, this. Yeah.
I mean, on 10-minute, is that what you're looking? Yeah, you're looking at 10-minute. It's just, especially as you said, just below a break of structure or just above. So where it broke that Asian high, and it could pull back, it just carried on. So good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the best looking level for sure.
I didn't get the best entry, but good start to the week.
Nice. This area as well looks interesting right here. It's much smaller. And it's below the Frankfurt Open. So there would be a bit of a liquidity grab if it got down there.
I think that 3-bar thing, it works well when there are, I think I was saying a few weeks ago, when there's fair value gap above and below, that's a much stronger area.
Yeah, agreed. Because it's like a good push up and then a reload
Yeah,
and then a
exactly.
good push up again.
Yeah.
And then it comes back, collects that liquidity. Came up, it's like a bit of a double top now. So I think if we can finally break above this level, I was hoping it was going to do it then, but if it can break above this level, that buy is still very valid. So I'm going to keep my eyes on it. I give my stop.
Yeah.
Have an alert above there.
Hayden, if you've got 2 minutes afterwards, can we have literally a 2-minute chat? Because I've got to go out, but I just wanted to cover something off with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's okay. Thanks.
That bastard, man, just my stop loss was too tight. Just came down just to take it. Okay. Price is still at the open, right here, open of the day. Still just hanging around there. So to me, I think the good trade would be when the volume comes, when it does arrive, it definitely looks like a low volume day. So we can see price has been a bit sluggish. But I think a good closure above this green line, I think 50 pips to the upside is very valid if you're gonna keep on watching. So from above 310 to 360, I think the best way to maybe enter that would be a bullish candle, 15-minute candle that can take out this one and then close something like this. And then I think like try get the next one, like something like that. I think this would be a decent shout to target 360. Take some risk off the table. Maybe you want to continue for holding on, or just be happy with 50 pips spin on a Monday. I quite like that idea, given that just let time, like the first hour and a half, there just doesn't seem to be a catalyst this week. So it's really taken time for them to build their order, which perfectly makes sense from supply demand techniques. Sells, if we are breaking down and we're breaking down underneath this low again, then Frankfurt low is absolutely in play. So I think you could look to take it down about maybe 30 to 40 pips. Make it safe, because in an uptrend, it's very dangerous to try short this market. But I think there will be an opportunity underneath that low for 30 pips. Otherwise, I'm pretty keen to look for buys, especially if we can sort of break above here for wick fill, and then just this area up here, which would be about 360 odd. Okay. Yen, I want to target yen this week. I think I just want to see what yen does when they open tomorrow. But I think with these elections, I'm going to do a bit of research today when I get a chance as well, because the elections only happened like overnight. So I don't want to rush into anything on a Monday. But to me, I thought yen would be weak. And it's quite nice to see yen strong today, because that could lead to some pretty decent levels for us to target from. But yeah, man, bit of a slow session, so I'll probably just leave it there. I'm gonna have to get going. But Jim, I've got some minutes, so I'll wrap things up, guys. Jim, I'll send you his link. Okay.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Thanks, Hayden. Bye, everyone.
All right, guys. Hope you had a good session. It was a slow session, but some of the trades made sense, I think. Okay, so watch this level. I'm keeping an eye on it. Got an alert up there, and then if price for my ultimate longs, I've got some alerts down here as well around the 24,130 level. I think this is also a good level to see a reaction. So buys above here, buys from below here, potential a little bit of short-term sells underneath this low, but make it safe because potentially got a lot more to go down. But I do see Frankfurt open as a potential problem for any sells. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, take care.
Cheers.